Oh shit. So I just had to rig my little setup to go live on here. Let me see. Where's my damn... Hi, whoever just came in here. I just had to rig my setup, so give me a minute as I gather my things. Hello. Hi y'all. I don't even know what I'm doing, but we're here. I don't even know how to work this. But I think I'm doing it right. Anywho, I'll give you a few more minutes. I want to talk about how divination is not necessarily mediumship, because I love all of my clients, and I tend to only work with people who are a good fit. And I've noticed something about people who come from a certain background or community. And I want to talk about the difference between divination and mediumship, because they're both useful. But there is a difference. So, in order to be a good diviner, you have to be a good medium. And what's happening is a lot of people are learning systems of divination, but they're not developing their mediumship abilities, which we all have. Let's not even say. How do I move this? So, divination in itself is a mathematical system. because everything is numbers. Everything is made from numbers. Numbers are just codes. So I've noticed a lot of people. One, I made a post earlier today where I was just letting it be known that I do not do personal readings on a monthly basis for anybody. Because one, I feel like YouTube is enough. Let me start by saying this. If I had it my way, I would probably only post on YouTube like once a month or maybe twice a month when it comes to doing readings, collective readings, pick a cards, all of them. I prefer doing pick a cards because pick a cards help me tune into a specific group, and so the message is a lot more. Collective readings can just kind of be all over the place, and I've just noticed a lot of people are not connected to their discernment. So when they watch a collective reading and they hear certain things, they automatically try and accept the whole reading, when sometimes the entire reading is not your situation, or those messages that are coming through are not specific to you, not the whole thing. It's a thing where you have to just, people are out of touch with their discernment. And I really feel like social media is the reason. Media and programming is the reason to begin with. It goes even before social media. But when I do these collective readings, my intention is to give some of you some confirmation, not to make you worry, which is why I always say at the end of the video, if you need to book a personal, you can book a personal. But then there's some of y'all who come to me and you want readings on, you want several readings within like a month's time. And I'm just not the diviner that does that, because ain't nothing changed. Nothing has changed. Like nothing. And if something has changed, then you probably already intuitively know that it has changed. See what I'm saying? So when I talk about mediumship and divination, in order to be a good diviner, in order to use these cards, or even with other systems like OB, using cowrie, throwing bones, people use cola nuts and palm nuts, and there's palm readers, there's people who read water, sand. There's so many different ways you can divine. You have to be a good reader. So like with palm reading, not palm reading, with reading the sand or reading certain elements, unless you're reading certain I wish I could pull up this video. I was watching this video earlier today, and it was an episode of My Wife and Kids where Junior had dropped a box of Lucky Charms on the ground, and it scattered all of the cereal on the ground, and they were kind of poking fun at reading what was on the ground. Okay, that's a form of divination. There are people that can read literally anything, clouds, water, all of these different things. That's somebody who knows how to read energy. But then you have people that learn systems of divination, like the 16 cowrie shells, OB, those types of things, where we're talking about mathematical predictions. But the thing about that is, even with those systems, you have to be a good medium in order for the divination to really be accurate. because you're going to get an entire Odu, which is essentially a proverb. And the diviner has to be able to read what is significant for that person, what that person really needs to know about that Odu and how it pertains to their life and their life's journey. So it's kind of like with tarot. Ooh, what's this? I picked up 2 decks. With my tarot cards, one card has so many different meanings within it. The 6 of Pentacles. You have to know the symbols, but there's a lot more context that goes behind reading that card. And depending on how you have developed your mediumship abilities, you're not going to, you can become more accurate the more that you lean onto mediumship, because the oracle has always came before the system of divination. So I know a lot of people who are like me, where they got into divination because they were born mediums and they use divination as a tool to guide them through their mediumship. I don't really have to pick up a deck of cards to be able to read somebody or a situation. The deck of cards just kind of confirms things and maybe shows things that gives more detail and more clarity and more context. I can take a nap. I can say a prayer. I can just spend some time alone in solitude, and a bunch of information will come to me. I'll either see it in a dream, in a vision, or I'll hear it, I'll smell it, but mostly in my dreams. I'll get the information that I needed. I don't have to go to the deck of cards. The deck of cards is just for confirmation. Okay, it's just a tool. So I just want y'all to understand that, because a lot of y'all are getting readings just too often. Like I said earlier, anybody can learn how to do this. You just have to be open to learning. Who just joined the live? Hi. I'm talking about mediumship. Anybody can learn how to do this. But in order to be good at divination, you have to be a good medium, an excellent medium. And in order to develop your mediumship abilities, you really just have to get grounded and connected to spirit. And that's going to look different for everybody. I know how I get grounded and connected, and it's usually through solitude, spending a lot of time in nature, and just doing a lot of the things that I did as a child, where I always felt a presence around me through art, through dance, whatever, music, those types of things. And basically paying homage and revering those that came before me. So having that connection with your ancestors and your spirit guides is really important too. But that is the difference between divination and mediumship. They intersect, but there's a lot of people that I know come to me after getting a reading by a priest or priestess in some of these traditions, and my readings pretty much expound in detail on what they have already heard. But because of my delivery and because of how I read and what I'm picking up, it's clearer to them what they need to do. Versus some of these people go to these priests and priestesses, and it's just like some folks are just lousy at what they do, to be honest. And that's not everybody. There's a lot of good, excellent readers out here and diviners, but some people are just lousy. They don't take the time to do they just want to take the Ifa corpus, the book that they have with all of the Odus, and they want to do the calculations, and they're like, okay, so this is the Odu, and so all of this applies to you. But it's much more to that when you're reading somebody. These practices are starting to get watered down because of just people seeing the gravy train attached to it. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Hi, YouTube. Y'all, I don't know how to work none of this stuff. I'm on my iPad on YouTube, and that kind of threw me off. Next time, I'm going to have to use my computer. But I got to go get my computer fixed, so... But hi to everybody that's here. I don't even know if y'all saying anything. But yeah, when y'all come and get a reading by me, when you get a reading by anybody, there's no need for you to get readings constantly. First of all, a lot of y'all have too many people tapping into your energy. It's not... You can have more than one person, more than one spiritual advisor. You can have more than one spiritual advisor, but some of y'all are letting too many people tap into your energy, and it's causing confusion. When really you probably would just benefit from spending some time in solitude and connecting directly with your own guides and spirits. There is literally, I feel like I'm a very special person, a very unique person, but when I tell y'all we all have spiritual abilities, I mean that. Some of us just have a life path where we, you know, certain things happen that kind of throw us onto this path or activate our abilities. Some of us are on this path and then we get deterred, then we come back, you know. But if you really wanted to, everybody can develop their intuition and their mediumship abilities. Your ancestors are always around you. Your spirit guides are always around you. You literally just have to call on them. That's another thing. When it comes to altars, because I've had quite a few consultations where people ask me about altars. You don't... if you haven't already been connecting with your guides, I wouldn't advise you put an altar in your home, because that's just more work when you can literally just go on a walk, say a prayer, you can go outside, find a sacred space. I do recommend creating a shrine for yourself, and that can be like your sacred space that you go to when you want to meditate, when you want to pray or chant. But I don't want to say nothing too crazy, so let me gather myself. A lot of these traditions are... they're traditions. They were never meant to be religious systems of practice, right? We're all supposed to be... the whole purpose of going to church or a mosque or a temple or drumming or something like that is for people to come together, for the community to come together, to fellowship. That's really what it's for. We're all supposed to be practicing our spiritual practice on our own. And then when we decide to come together, we come together. That's why in these initiations and ceremonies, they get really expensive, because when you really think about it, you're basically paying that entire village to come and witness your initiation, but you also have to feed all of those people. That was the purpose of these ceremonies and initiations. And I'm a history dork, and I really like to refer to the time before these systems came about. That's where I feel comfortable in my practice. I'm like a freestyle kind of girl. I am a full-blown occultist, so I am a student of many different traditions and schools of thought. And the one thing I've recognized immediately is how we have taken the practices of our mothers, the oracles, away. We've kind of removed, all I'm going to say is the oracle came before the diviner. You get these divination systems from the oracle. The oracle doesn't need cards. She knows how to tap in. And anybody can do it, male or female. These systems were meant to create order, and they help you develop cities and civilizations. That's its primary function. It's just structure and order, but you're not confined to it unless you take an oath, and then you are confined to that practice because you have taken an oath. But you don't have to do all of this extra stuff. You don't have to do all of the altars and ceremonies and initiations if you don't feel like that's in your path, or you don't feel like that's something that you want to do. But what you do have to do is develop your spirituality on your own. This is also why I recommend a lot of people to get familiar with their astrology, preferably Vedic. Vedic is much more accurate than Western astrology, but Western astrology has some function to it. But that your astrology, your numerology, that's going to tell you why you're here and how you decide to practice. Like what spiritual path is good for you. Hey, Tank. When I tell y'all patriarchy, patriarchy is not a bad thing, but patriarchy has gotten out of control because it's not in balance. And so we're kind of losing some of our ashe. We're losing some of our power because we're being very dogmatic with some of these practices. That's the other thing too. A lot of these practices weren't for the entire community to join. You may be a devotee, you may be a worshiper, but not everybody is meant to like sign an oath. An oath is a big deal. I take contracts very seriously. I'm a Capricorn. An oath is a big deal. So there's a lot of people that are confining themselves to I don't know. Maybe I'm just a rebel. I have a rebellious spirit. But I know this about myself, and I know this about my path. Which is why I always study and respect the elders, listen to what they have to say, but I always tap in with myself and with my own spiritual core, because that's what I'm going to listen to first. Can't nobody tell me nothing outside of myself. I'm always going to consult myself and my spirit guides first before any priest, priestess, babalawo, palero, imam, santero, all of them, shaman, all of them. I like to tap in with spirit, and I really feel like that's where we're headed because of the time. We're in the age of Aquarius, so that Saturnian energy is interesting because when you look at the signs that Saturn rules, it's Aquarius and Capricorn. And Aquarius is a very eccentric, rebellious type of energy. That's the type of energy you get from Aquarius. Like, it's that side of Saturn. Whereas Capricorn is more formal, business-like, and structured. Capricorn is like, we need, contracts need to be signed, and we need to negotiate, and this, that, and the third. And it's more about self. But in the age of Aquarius, it's really more about community and tribalism. So when it comes to our spiritual practices, we're leaving the age of Pisces, which was about martyrdom, which is why you have all of the prophets like Muhammad, Buddha, Yeshua. That was their time, where you're looking for this guru, this leader, to free the people and speak for the people. But in the age of Aquarius, it's really about an even playing field. It's really about everybody recognizing that you are your own temple and that you have to go off of your intuition and your discernment in everything that you do. That's the only way we're going to get somewhere at this time. And on top of that, the age of Aquarius lasts what, like 2,000 years? I want to say 2,000 years. And then right after that age, Saturn will still be ruling when it's in Capricorn for another 2,000 years. So just do the work now. Do the work now. Because you're going to have to come right back through this, bitch. It's not like you really escape the cycle of reincarnation anyway. So you might as well learn these things now. Do it now. Y'all gonna see it. That's why a lot of this stuff with these celebrities and influencers, politicians, people are revealing their character flaws in this age. It's really just a time where we're in a transition. So what is no longer useful to us, it's gotta go. Hi, y'all. It's got to go. Hey, okay. I hope I say your name right. I feel like I pronounce it wrong every time. Ilker. I'm actually about to get off of here, y'all, because I think I kind of went off on a whole nother tangent. But I just want y'all to know the difference between divination and when I'm talking about divination, I'm really talking specifically to the diaspora. Those of you that are getting like Ifa or Afa readings that relate to the Odus, the Ifa corpus. Make sure you're getting somebody that is an excellent medium, honestly. They need to be a good medium in order for them to relay the messages properly and lead you in the right direction. or else they're literally just going to read you. It's kind of like opening your Bible and whatever page the Bible lands on, you read that page, but there's so much more context to it. And you have to be able to read energy to do that. And like I said, it's really simple to develop your intuitive abilities. The problem most of us suffer from is just being still and practicing meditation. Writing down your dreams is really important. And having some type of sacred place that you go to when you need, either when you need advice or when you just want to commune with your spirits. Because I have little sacred places that I go to, and my spirit team knows why I'm there. They just know automatically why I went to this tree, why I went to this river, why I went here, this, that. They know why I'm there. Yes, they're always around me, but they know I actively went to this place for a reason. And that's how I connect with my guides. Everybody has a different process. You can also light a white candle or put a glass of water by your dresser by your nightstand when you go to bed at night, and just say a little prayer and ask for clarity before you close your eyes. And your ancestors, your guides will speak to you that way too. But mine just be rolling up on me. I love them so much. They just roll up on me. And I'll just be like, do I really have to tell this person that? Do I really have to call them? Are y'all just showing me some stuff just to show it to me? Or do I really have to say something? Or, you know? And I'm just getting started. So, that's all I have to say. I really need to get off of here because I actually need to work on something. Yeah, and I've been on here for longer than I expected, so. But I hope y'all have a great one. Catch the replay if you missed this, and I'm gone. Ooh, YouTube, I'm still with y'all. My bad. Hold on. Who's on here?